Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, we invite you to find your seats. I'm Derek Miller with the World Trade Center, Utah. I'm glad to be joined on stage this morning with two great friends, Hale from the Governor's Office of Economic Development and Dave Golden, who's representing the Salt Lake Chamber of Commerce today. Together, our three organizations, the World Trade Center, Utah, the Governor's Office of Economic Development, and the Salt Lake Chamber, are pleased to be able to present this forum. We are especially grateful to have with us here this morning our great governor, Governor Herbert, who is hosting this forum today. And later on this afternoon, we'll have the opportunity to hear from Governor Herbert. You're also going to have the opportunity today to learn from a premier group of international experts. They are going to share their wisdom and knowledge with you in four important topics. The first is Exporting 101, how to create partnerships, finance, and international networking.
And before we kick off what is sure to be a day filled with content-driven presentations, valuable networking, and delicious food, most importantly, I want to take a few minutes to thank our generous sponsors who've made this event possible. First, we want to recognize our presenting sponsors who are all represented on the stage this morning: the World Trade Center, the Governor's Office of Economic Development, and the Salt Lake Chamber. We also want to thank our premier partner, Zions Bank, and spotlight partners, Deseret Management Corporation, Curtin & McConkie, Wells Fargo for their significant support of this event. Let's join in thanking them. The next sponsor we want to recognize, and we all in this day and age, this is a big deal. Our Wi-Fi access is provided here for our attendees during the forum. Let's thank OOCL for their generosity in supporting this. We want to thank also our event partners, Caldwell Banker Commercial Advisors, Deloitte, doTERRA, Huntsman Corporation, KeyBank, Merit Medical Systems, Inc., Parr, Brown, Gee, and Lovelace, Salt Lake County, Utah Business, Utah Valley University, Varian Medical Systems, Vivint, and Workers' Compensation Fund. We also want to recognize our startup and executive sponsor listed on the slides behind me here. Please join me in one more round of applause for all of our sponsors. The purpose of the Utah Global Forum and the reason we are here today is to increase exports. Governor Herbert set a goal to increase value-added exports to $9 billion by 2020. I'm pleased to report that we're well on our way to reaching that goal, with more than $7.4 billion in value-added exports reported in 2015. This would not be possible without the entrepreneurs and business leaders who've taken their companies to the international market. Together with our partners, we offer services to help you expand your business. As part of the State Trade and Expansion Program we call STEP, and in cooperation with the U.S. Small Business Administration, our Office of International Trade and Diplomacy awarding matching grants to 52 companies for participation in international trade shows, trade missions, and independent sales trips this year. Between July 2015 and June 2016, participating companies reported $3.12 million in actual sales at these events. We have new STEP grants available for the coming year, and we encourage you to visit the Go-Ed booth right outside the door there between the sessions so you can learn more.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be with you today representing the Salt Lake Chamber. I'm continually reminded of why I'm so proud to be a part of Utah's business community. There's a culture of collaboration here, of innovation, and of economic leadership that's clearly unique. As a past chair of the Salt Lake Chamber and as its current chair of the Public Policy Committee, it's been my privilege to see all of this firsthand. from working together on the important issue of investing in Utah's future workforce to strengthening the backbone of our economy through transportation funding. The business community of Utah continues to lead the way in setting an example for the rest of the country. You've heard many of the accolades. The governor continues to remind us, and they continue to accumulate, Governor. CNBC ranked Utah America's top state for business. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce ranked it #1 for innovation and entrepreneurship. And Forbes calls Utah the best state for business and careers. Equally exciting is Utah's growing success and influence in the global marketplace. Let me share a couple of examples from my own company. In 2016, Utah has so far the highest growth rate of any state in the country where Wells Fargo operates for global banking revenues. Further, Utah's been in the top 5 states for foreign exchange revenue for our company in each of the last 5 years. Landlocked Utah. Who could have imagined? I'm confident that the state's national economic leadership will continue, and I'm equally confident that its global leadership will continue to grow and expand, and that we at the Salt Lake Chamber will continue to collaborate with all of you as we champion growth in Utah.
As you could tell from Dave's comments, Utah is a great place to grow your international business. And you know, Val, you mentioned the governor's goal to increase value-added exports. At the World Trade Center Utah, we've set a goal as well that complements the governor's goal. Last January, the World Trade Center Utah celebrated its 10-year anniversary, and at that event, we talked about how Utah had doubled its exports over the previous 10 years. And also at that event, we set a goal that we would double our exports for the next decade. And I'm proud to be able to say that we're on track to accomplish that goal. Now, all of you have undoubtedly heard a lot about trade in this current presidential election. Contrary to what you've heard from the 2 major party candidates, trade is not killing Utah. In fact, in Utah is killing it when it comes to trade. Our exports, thank you. Our exports grew by 8% in 2015. Our state is the 9th in the nation for fastest growing exports. And you want to know something else? Utah is one of the few states, only a handful, that's a trade surplus state to the tune of $4 billion annually. Trade opens up our landlocked state to millions of customers and millions of opportunities that would not be available to us in a closed economy. Research shows that exporting firms are more productive, they pay higher wages than non-exporting firms, and approximately 22% of all of Utah's workforce, all of our jobs in this state are supported by international business. Now, there's another benefit to international business, and that is the relationships between countries and the relationships between individuals. During a trade mission to Israel just a few years ago that Governor Herbert led, we had the opportunity and the privilege to meet with then President Shimon Peres. He just recently passed away. All of those, myself included, who had the opportunity to meet with President Peres were inspired by his message that the key to lasting peace is economic prosperity. Not just peace in Israel or the Middle East, but worldwide. And speaking of international relationships, we're fortunate today to welcome consuls general from over 10 different countries who are here at today's Global Forum. Please join me in welcoming them today. Some of these consuls will be participating in the international networking breakout session, and all of them are available throughout the day to talk to you about how you can do business in their countries. And of course, the World Trade Center Utah will continue to offer our services to help companies think, act, and succeed globally. There's no better time than now, and there's no better place than Utah to start your international expansion. You are on the right track by being here today. And we've put together a fabulous program to help you to expand your knowledge so that you can expand into international markets for the first time. This program was put together specifically with topics and speakers to help you accomplish this goal.